and especially Svetlana. It's my honor today to do an evaluation for Svetlana's speech, which is the third project in an advanced manual, and the advanced manual is technical presentations. It's very exciting to have someone presenting projects in the advanced manuals, because part of our mission as the Toastmasters Club is to have speeches that are in the basic manual, which you use to become a competent communicator, and in advanced manuals that focus on a particular topic, like technical presentations. What I'm going to do is give a couple things that I thought Svetlana did particularly well in her speech, probably 3 things, and then maybe one suggestion, and wrap up with an encouraging statement about it. So Svetlana's goal for the project was to actually understand how to communicate complex information to non-technical listeners, to build and deliver an interesting talk, and then to answer questions, which she didn't happen to have any, and to use PowerPoint, but in this case to use the board. I felt that this speech did meet those objectives. She apparently understood principles of how to communicate, because I thought she was effective in communicating technical information to a non-technical audience using her speech. Some of the things I thought she did well, first of all, her introduction. Did you notice that she paused in order to describe what she was going to do and then said, please ask questions, even though we didn't? And that connected her to the audience. I felt that the next thing she said was she talked about demystifying mathematical programming, and what she did is she used examples, and she also made a list here of what the alternative would be, motivating us to want to be able to understand this part of it. Mathematical programming is something I used as well. This is probably the best speech I have ever seen explaining that topic. I loved some of her language, so she said, when I explain mathematical programming, I do this. Which made you feel confident in her as a speaker. She said, let's use the classical example. And so you knew that this was something you could rely on as something that was a good example for the process she was describing. Then she said, let's assume we have 3 products, which just the way, these were really nice transitions. I liked that she seemed relaxed and used humor, mentioning, he kind of chuckled a couple times, so using fat-free, oh, this is fat-free, and that's a very natural ability of Svetlana's. Also, did you notice her facial expressions when she said, you can find the nutrients on the internet? She kind of swinched her face up, and that's a really nice way to connect with your audience. At the very end, she summarized and she said, so she built this, she explained the process by building it step by step, and then said, this is a mathematical program. This is the structure of a mathematical program. You will find this in any mathematical program. And again, you as the listener think, oh, okay, now I get what's going on. I can understand it. I'm actually going to use some of that in my teaching when I start in about 2 weeks. The only suggestion that I might have, if you were going to do this speech again, is potentially to, when you come to the conclusion, consider doing some sort of a more firm conclusion. For example, you couldn't tell the whole solution, but maybe preview what the solution would be like with an area that is bound by those constraints, and then have something going through it. Or you could explain the result. What would the result be, and how might you report that to somebody? Or I thought you might also just reiterate the benefits. But I had a hard time coming up with a suggestion. I thought the speech was very, very effective. I'm looking forward to seeing more speeches of yours from this manual, and thank you very much.